come to my job, my place of employment to come check me talking about, oh, we're good now. Like, I don't care what y'all are. Like, hey guys, so this is literally gonna be the second time I record this video because about like 20 minutes in, I realized I wasn't even recording. Yeah. So, I'm gonna try to remember what I was saying and get as many of the details and as much as the enthusiasm and my initial reactions, because I'm pretty mad about it, to be honest. So, anyway, this is going to be y'all's favorite and my favorite too. I really like going in on client story times. Yeah, it's a client story time, and this one is going to be a crazy one because this is just so ratchet and raggedy, and it just like goes to show the things that people in service industries go through. Like, this is not what we signed up for. I signed up to do hair, not get involved in people's personal lives and business and just mess. So just strap on in for this one because I'm telling you, this is just a joke. Now, with that being said, a lot of my videos, when I try to do like these, I've refrained from doing this specific video because I like to include like receipts. You know, everybody wants them, but at the same time, I do these videos for like entertainment purposes, just to kind of like kiki, whatever, about things that have happened, as if, you know, I'm just telling my friends and things like that. I don't make these videos to put anybody's business out there, to blow up anybody's spot and just be vindictive or anything. It's literally just telling you what it is. So a lot of like the screenshots, because I went through to see like what the screenshots were and everything when I went through the messages again. And it just puts too much information, too much personal information. And if I try to like cut it out or blur it out, it doesn't make sense. And that's why I was like refraining from doing this video, because I'm like, I didn't want to like not include it, but at the same time, if I did include it, it's just putting too much information. So take this story time for what it is. To be honest, like, I'm really gonna see what I can do, because I really want to show y'all what I'm talking about, because this is just a joke. This is so, oh my god. So anyway, with that being said, go ahead and strap on in, because this one is a doozy. It really is. So let's take it back. Let's take it back to when I had first started in my salon that I've talked about a billion times. This is when I was apprenticing. So when I was apprenticing, I was offering $50 colors, $50 balayages, highlights, whatever, and like free blowouts and free haircuts just to practice. So I was constantly advertising myself on my Facebook, my Instagram, my Snapchat, everything. So I would constantly have people that I would go to school with. Majority of the people were people that I went to high school with. Now, it was never out of the ordinary for guys to hit me up asking to get their girlfriend's hair done, their mom's hair done, things like that. So one day I got a message from a guy that I wasn't friends with. Like, we were not friends. We knew each other just because we had went to school with each other for so long, but we were never friends. Like, we never like knew each other like that. So I got this message, and we're gonna call him Eli. So I got this message from Eli, and he basically DM'd me, and he was like, hey, I just wanted to know if you could do my girlfriend's hair. She wanted to get her hair done, and I wanted to pay for it, kind of surprise her, pay for it, And I was like, yeah, just let me know what she wants to get done. And he obviously didn't know what she wanted to get done. So I just told him to have her DM me, and then we can make something happen. So of course it did. So she ends up messaging me. We are going to call her Brooklyn. So Brooklyn ends up messaging me, and she's basically telling me what she wants to get done. She wanted like highlights, balayage type deal. So we go ahead and we set up a day for her to come in. Cool, regular, nothing crazy. So the day comes for her to come get her hair done. So her and Eli come in together, and they have their little baby carrier because she had just had a baby. Remember that. So he comes in with the baby carrier. She comes in. She's like, hey, nice to meet you, And so I have seen Eli on multiple occasions because he was into cars. And at the time I was dating Armando, and like Armando was in the car. So anytime like we would go be at the gas station together or something and Eli was there, they would just talk about cars, like boy stuff, you know? So it wasn't like I didn't know him. It was just like that. I'm like, hey, how are you kind of thing. So he's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yeah, nice to see you too. I was like, all right, Brooklyn, you can come back and let's make it happen. So before I went back, Eli was like, hey, can I go ahead and pay for it now? And I told him like I would recommend paying now, because just depending on how much product I need to use and like what she actually wants to get done, it's just better if you pay after. And he was like, okay, no problem. He lets her know, hey, just call me whenever you're finishing up so I can head over here. Cool, right? Okay, remember all of that. Remember that they have a baby. Remember that he said to call him when they're finishing up. Remember that he's gonna pay, okay? It all makes sense. So I take Brooklyn back to the chair, and she was not from our hometown. She never went to our school. I didn't know anything. And she was also older than us, like by like a few years. So I didn't know anything about her. So I was basically just getting to know her. After we talked about her hair, I was getting to know her. I was like, hey, how are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Blah, 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 whatever. So we're just talking regular casual conversation. She's telling me about where she's from. She's telling me how she met Eli, and talking about makeup, YouTube, things like that. Cool. So it gets to like the whole point of like when I'm almost done with her hair. So I already finished the haircut. I'm about to start blow drying and curling her hair. So she, I guess, felt comfortable, because, you know, I give that vibe to people, you know, tell me whatever. I don't really care. I really don't be caring about people's lives. So she basically just, I guess, felt comfortable, and she asked me if I did pills. And I was like, no, I don't. Not really into that stuff, no. And she was basically saying, she's like, oh, well, I was just wondering because, like, the guy that I usually get my stuff from, he's mad at me right now. So I don't have anybody to get it from, and I just wanted to know if you knew anybody that sells pills. And I was just like, no, girl, sorry, I can't help you. I don't do that. I don't know anybody that sells it. Sorry. I left it at that, just because, like, I mean, I really don't care what people be doing. Like, if you want to, you know, do that, you want to smoke whatever you want to do, like, live your life. I'm not here to say anything about it. So I just left the conversation at that. She asked me, I said no, moved on. I'm just here to curl your hair now. Well, she decided that that was not the end of that conversation. So she proceeds to tell me, she was like, yeah, well, while I was pregnant, I kind of started having a thing with the guy that sells me pills. And I was just like, okay. Now, mind you, I don't know. I have like a sign on my forehead that says like, tell me your business, because this is not the first time I've had people just outwardly say like the most random personal things about their lives. So I was just like, oh, okay. But I just brush it off because I don't want to get involved. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's how I reside. So I was just like, oh, okay, like, cool, okay. But, you know, she continues to tell me, she was like, yeah, for like a long time, I thought Eli was cheating on me. And, you know, he introduced me because he knows that I did them. And he introduced me to this guy. And, you know, I would always hit him up when I wanted some. So, like, when I thought Eli was cheating on me, I would just hit him up sometimes. And we just had like a little thing. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. But, like, kind of trying to like take the conversations into something else. I was just like, oh, well, like, are you guys better now? How are you feeling? You know, that kind of thing. And she was basically saying like, oh, like, well, that's the reason why he's mad at me, because, you know, me and Eli are in such a better space. Like, I just had my baby. Mind you, the baby was like months old, like still red. And she was just like, you know, we are in such a better place, and that's the reason why he's mad at me, because I don't hit him up anymore, and I don't really like, you know, I don't want to hook up with him anymore, but I still want my pills. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. And I was like, well, I'm glad that you guys worked everything out and everything. So then she goes to show me her phone, where it's actual like paragraphs of this man, her like side dude drug dealer thing. This man going in paragraphs of how he's going to tell Eli about the whole situation. Now, mind you, I don't really know these people's lives like that, but I knew that Eli came from bread. Like, his family had money. And so from what I gathered was like, you know, obviously she's got like a cute little family going on. Your man has money. So you're not trying to mess that up, even though you did cheat on him. You know what in the world? But you know, you're not trying to mess that up. So she was basically just telling me, she's like, you know, I can't have him like saying that, blah, blah, blah. And so I was just like, oh my God, that's crazy. Being such a third party, innocent bystander, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what to tell you, girl. I mean, you did cheat on him with him. So, I mean, you got this man in his feelings and you're really going to get Eli in his feelings. Like, you know? So I'm just like, oh my. And so that was pretty much it. So I finished her hair. I was combing it out and I was taking my pictures. And so I was under the impression that she had told Eli that she's almost done and she'll be on the way, or he'll be on the way, you know, kind of deal. So we go, like, I did all that and we go to the front, and she was gonna go pay. Like, she went to go pay. And I was just like, you know, I blew up the surprise. I was like, oh no, Eli said that he was gonna pay for it. Like, don't worry, like, no rush. Like, we'll just wait till he gets here. And so she's like, no, I'll pay for it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, he can just give me the money later or something. Like, I'll just let him know that I ruined the surprise and I just did it. And my manager, she was about that money, honey. So she did not care. She's like, okay. She took the debit card. Like, she was paying no mind. She didn't think a second thing. She went and grabbed the girl's debit card. She did a transaction or whatever. So I was just like, oh dang, I kind of feel bad because I ruined the surprise, or like, you know, the little gesture is over. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop touching my hair, I swear. So okay, fine, she pays for her own hair. I didn't care. Like, my life goes on, the day goes on, whatever. So as you know, I go back to doing hair, shadowing, whatever. I look up and I see that she leaves. Now, mind you, what's his name? What did I call him? Eli is a car guy. So he drives a very distinct car. The car that they came in with is a very distinct car. And I saw her get into a car with somebody else, somebody else's car. It was not Eli. So I was just like, okay. You know how you're just an innocent bystander, you peeping, you're like, it's none of my business, it's none of my business. So whatever. She leaves. Okay, cool. Once again, I go back to doing my duties. I'm at work, so I'm just living my life, doing my work. So give it about like an hour or 2 hours later, I see, what did I call her? I see Brooklyn outside, because our salon was like all windows in the front. So I see Brooklyn standing outside the salon, kind of like when you're like waiting for an Uber, where you're just like on your phone, just standing there. I see her back at the salon outside, you know, just on her phone. And guess whose car I see pull up? Eli's distinct car. So in my head, I'm like, no ma'am, no way. No way. No way. Okay. So she hops in the car with Eli and they sail off into the sunset. So obviously this ain't got nothing to do with me. I am once again an innocent bystander. I'm just checking it out like, wow, that's crazy. Once again, when they first came in, because I had followed him on Instagram and I know her Instagram because she messaged me off of it. If you were to look at their Instagram, like, that's why they be saying like all that glitters isn't gold. Because you would think like they have all these pictures together, and like I said, homie has money, so they're like all these places together, they do all these things, he's buying her all this stuff, and I'm just like, and they have a baby, like, oh my God. So I was just like, oh my goodness. But whatever. This ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not my life. I kikied and ha-ha'd, I guess. And I went about my day. So I posted the same day that whole thing happened. I had posted a picture of when I did her hair, like the final product. I posted it to my Instagram. And he messages me and he's like, hey, you did such a good job. Like, it was really pretty. Thank you again. It looks so nice. But, you know, I told you that I was going to pay for it. And so I just basically told him, I was like, oh, I wasn't the one that checked her out. She just kind of like did it. Like, I didn't see anything that happened because I wanted no parts. I wanted no parts of nobody's business. So I basically told him that somebody else checked her out. She did that on her own. I had nothing to do with it. And he was like, LOL, okay, no worries, da-da-da, whatever. Once again, you did a good job. He was really nice. He's always been really nice. But once again, I don't want to get in people's business. So, you know, I'm sorry, okay? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all would have done because I was just confused as all. But we'll get into it, okay? That was the end of that, so I thought. I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. Mind you, I even spoke to my manager about that because she was like, why did she go with that guy? Because the guy, like, look, Eli looked a certain type of way, and the dude that she left with looked a whole different type of way, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. And even my manager made a comment about that. She was like, what? And I just see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. I know I said that kind of reverse, but whatever. So I was just like, oh my God. So then I told my manager, I was like, girl, do you know that he messaged me and he like asked me like why he didn't pay or whatever? And she was like, oh no, this is a mess. This is such a mess. Mind you, we're in a hair salon. We've seen a lot and we witnessed a lot. So if I spoke on all the things that I've seen and all the things that I've heard and all the things that people tell me, then like, girl, I would be Carly Red. So I go on, live my life, everything goes on as normal, cool. So I get a message from Brooklyn and she was like, hey, I wanted to get a haircut, blah, 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 whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So she comes in and like nothing. I didn't mention anything. I kept it just real profesh and I was just like, oh, how have you been? And she's like, oh, I've been really good. Me and Eli, we are actually moving. We're planning on getting married and moving and da 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 da. So I was just like, oh, that's so nice. Cool, 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 whatever, whatever. And she was like, yeah. Has Eli talked to you? And I was like, no, why would he talk to me? Like, for what? What does he need to talk to me for? And so I was just like, no, why? And she's like, okay, good. Just in case, like, if he asks you, like, anything that happened, like, if he asks you about the day that I came the first time or anything, can you just not say anything? And I was just like, no, I'm not going to say anything because, like, I don't get involved in people's stuff. Like, I don't care what y'all got going on, whatever. And she was like, okay, good, thank you. Because the day, mind you, I'm telling her I don't get involved. I don't get into any of these y'all stuff because I don't want to know anything. She just goes ahead and starts blabbing at the mouth. So she was like, yeah, because the day that I had left, like the day that you did the color and everything, I originally left with my dealer. And I was just like, oh, okay. I'm sitting here like, oh, well, like, were you guys able to work things out or whatever? And she was just like, yeah, I basically just like had to let him know that like it's over and to just stop being so dramatic. She's like, we did end up like hooking up one last time, but he said that he wouldn't like tell Eli or anything. And I'm just like, one, why are you telling me this? Two, if I'm really, you know, half of me is like a little bit invested in your drama, why did you do that? Like, Eli is being so good to you. He's being so nice to you. And you just sat there and you hit up to ensure that this dude doesn't tell your current dude that y'all did whatever. You are going to hook up with him again to be like the final time to like make sure that he doesn't do any of this. Like, I am so confused, but once again, like I said, I didn't want no parts, but then like, you know, when you're just like a little bit like invested and like now I kind of want to know the ending, but I really didn't want to know anything. So cool, whatever. I'm just like, okay, like whatever. She's like, yeah, but it's done. Like we're moving. So it is what it is. Like I'm just like kind of getting rid of this whole situation. It's never gonna happen again. Me and Eli are in such a great place. We're so amazing, blah, 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 cool, whatever. So I was just like, all right, girl, like, okay. Do you, baby, do you, don't care. So fast forward, we're done with her haircut. I don't hear from her. I don't see from her because I'm under the impression that they moved. Cool. I get a random message one day from Eli. And he messages me and he was like, hey, can I ask you something? And I was like, sure, what's up? And he was like, did you know? And I was like, did I know what? Like, I was like, did I know what? He was like, did you know about what Brooklyn did the day that she got her hair done? And I just didn't respond because I'm like, I don't owe her any loyalty. Like, I don't know you like that. You're not my friend. But then I also like don't owe you an explanation because like you're not my friend either. So I just didn't respond. I didn't say a word. I didn't respond. I just left it at that. You can take my silence for whatever it is that you want. I didn't say a thing. So it's so funny because this happened while I was at work. So I was telling my manager, I was like, oh my God, they're questioning me. And she was like, oh my God, don't say anything. Don't get involved. Like, don't get involved. And I was like, no, I'm not responding to this. Like, this has nothing to do with me, whatever. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. So when he said that, he was like, oh, did you know? I didn't respond. And I left it at that. So then Brooklyn messages me and she was like, hey, like I told you, if he messages you, like he found out, I think he found out, and he's just saying that he's gonna ask you what happened, and like just tell him that you don't know anything. And that's another thing, I'm not getting involved either. Like, I'm not your friend, we're not friends. He's not my friend, you're not my friend, we are not friends. I'm literally just your hairstylist. I did your hair one time. I'm not your friend. So I didn't respond to her either because I'm just like, girl, I don't need to be involved in this right now. So she sends that, and then she was basically saying, like, she kept like sending me more messages. She's like, please don't tell him, please do not tell him, like, da 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 da, whatever. Like, he knows, like, he's confronting me about it, and he doesn't know, or he knows but he doesn't know, and he's confronting me about it, blah blah blah. And so then Eli messages me again, a question mark, and I'm just like, I'm not messaging you people. Like, I don't want any parts of you people. Like, you guys are so annoying. So I ended up blocking both of them because I was just like, this is too much for me. Like, I don't care. This is not it for me at all. Like, I don't need this in my life. Like, this has literally nothing to do with me. So I'm sitting here and I'm telling Armando, because like I said, I was dating Armando at the time. So I'm telling Armando, I'm like, can you believe, like, they're trying to drag me into their mess? Like, he's asking me, she's asking me, da 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 da, whatever. So I ended up blocking them, wanted no parts, didn't care. My life goes on. Fast forward some time, I completely forget about the situation. I had blocked them, didn't want no parts of them, whatever, right? And mind you, like, I can't reiterate this enough. Like, I did not like know these people. I was not friends with these people. I didn't care about these people. So fast forward some time, this lady comes in and she was getting her hair done by another stylist. And I, like, whatever, I was there, and one of the stylists asked me to shampoo this lady. So I was just like, okay, cool. Take the lady back, shampoo her hair, and once again, just talking, just making small talk. I'm like, oh, hi, how are you? And she was like, oh, you might know my son. And I was like, oh, who's your son? And she was like, Eli. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know Eli, whatever. And she's basically like, oh yeah, like, you guys went to the same school. He knows so many people, and just, talking like a mom, pretty much. Just like, oh yeah, he's so nice, da da da, you seem so nice, you guys went to the same school. And I was just like, oh yeah, like, so nice, blah blah blah. And she's just like going in, she's like, I think you did my daughter-in-law's hair, and they're just doing so well, and blah blah blah. And she's just going in about how lovely they are, how amazing they are, and just everything in between. And I was just like, oh yeah, so nice meeting them, da da da, whatever. Like I said, I was just shampooing her hair. I didn't really have anything to do with this lady. Cool, calm, whatever. Do you guys know? Guess who had to bring their mom, I don't know, some keys or whatever. So I'm at the front because I didn't have a client. In comes Eli. Eli walks in and I'm at the front. So I'm like in a deer in headlights because I'm just like, Eli comes in and he goes straight to the back to give his mom whatever it was that he was giving. He was dropping her off. And he comes in and he goes to me and he was like,
just so you know, I know that you know. I know that you knew what happened and you didn't tell me. But it doesn't matter because we're happy now and we're getting married, or we got married and we're moving anyway.
And then he leaves. As it was, I was like, first of all, boy, you're coming at me as if like I wrecked y'all's relationship or I had anything to do with this or whatever. Like I was just like, huh? And he basically, you know, he wanted to do one of those scenes of like da 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 da, drop the mic and walk away. And I'm like, I was so taken back because y'all, when I tell you, it all happened so fast. Like he comes in, I seen it was him. I was like, oh my, like yikes. But he didn't say anything to me on the way in. He came in, went straight to the back, gave his mom his thing, comes up, and there was like the desk at the front desk or whatever. So he comes into the front desk and he has his hand on the desk thing. And he was like,
I just want to let you know that I know that you know and you knew what happened that day and you didn't tell me. But it's fine because we're married. We moved past it and we're good now.
And he turns around and walks away. Like he gave me zero time to defend myself because when I tell you, I would have cussed him out. Because first of all, you are not gonna come check me about something that I have nothing to do. Like literally, you're acting like she cheated on you with me. Like come to my job, my place of employment to come check me talking about, oh, we're good now. Like I don't care what y'all are. Like obviously y'all are not that good, okay? She just had your baby and she was cheating on you, okay? And she chose to be middle school about it and treat this like an after school program and get picked up by somebody else and then come get dropped off so you could go pick her up. So don't try to come play. I wanted to go in on him so bad. And then he just goes about his life in his merry way. And then, like I said, the world is so small. I come to find out this one girl that I used to do her hair, she was just like, oh my God, what did you do to Eli? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh yeah, he told me that you were messy and that like not to come to you to do your hair, to do my hair with you because you're messy and you are like unprofessional and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of people dragging me into their nonsense because this had literally nothing to do with me. And two, how am I messy and I'm unprofessional because I kept myself out of y'all's mess? Like y'all are the raggedy ratchet ones, not me. But anyway, that was the story. I don't even know what I'm going to tell. I have no idea what I'm going to say about this because that was the time I was dragged into some mess that literally had nothing to do with me. And I don't appreciate it. Don't put your hairstylist and things. Like, all I was trying to do was do hair. That was it. I wasn't trying to get involved in people's issues. I was just trying to do hair. And of course, you know, they stay lying on me. I'm telling y'all, they stay lying on me. I'm to the point where I'm just like, wow. I'm the problem. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not the problem because like I said, this had nothing to do with me. But anyway, yeah, this was just a hot mess. And this is why, first of all, you shouldn't be cheating on people. And then if you are cheating on people, you shouldn't be using places like, have him pick you up at Walmart and get dropped off at Walmart and do all that. Don't do that at the hair salon, the nail salon, something where you're just reoccurring, like, and then don't get other people involved. Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know if I should have told him what I should have done, what I shouldn't have done, or let me know what y'all think. So, ew. Just a mess, and just a friendly reminder, don't be ratchet, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.